And for more now, we're joined by GMA legal analyst Dan Abrams, Nancy Grace, who's going to cover the trial tonight on her HLN show, Nancy Grace. And Nancy, let me begin with you. Looks pretty tough right there. 3 different stories from Jodi Arias. She wasn't there. She was there, but other people did it. She did it, but it was self-defense.
Yes, when a defendant begins to change their story, that's the kiss of death, pardon the pun. And the problem, another problem the defense is going to have with her at trial is she may very well want to insist on taking the stand against her attorney's advice. Now remember, you're talking about the winner of American Idol behind bars. Okay, and I think that may very well be the shot that you're showing right now.
It is.
She loves the limelight. And all this business about them being broken up, they weren't broken up. They were still having sex right before the murder. And with her changing stories, she also says she killed him in self-defense. So that's 3 different stories she's told police.
Dan, how do you begin to defend?
Well, look, I think that in the end, this self-defense claim is an effort to get second-degree murder. I think they know that they are in big trouble here. She's now, by arguing self-defense, effectively admitting that she did this, right? She's not saying, I wasn't there. She's not saying that there were intruders. She's saying, I did it. And I think this is an effort by her to say, you're not going to be able to prove premeditation. This happened in the heat of passion. It happened in a moment. We'd had this stormy relationship. And there is just an enormous difference between second-degree murder and first-degree murder.
Dan.
Yeah.
They don't need premeditation because they've also charged her with felony murder, which simply means a death occurs in the commission of a felony. And here they're saying the felony is burglary, which means you simply enter a structure with the intent to commit a crime. She went into the home with a gun.
Right.
Listen,
but the
he was shot, he was stabbed, he was beaten. Boom.
But those are 2 different legal theories that are basically requiring the same idea, which is that she went in there with the intent to do something. And they're going to argue with this second-degree murder, I think, that she didn't go in there with the intent to commit any kind of crime.
She went in with a gun, Dan.
That's right. Well, look, she could say...
Look, I've heard a lot about crazy sex, but when you introduce a gun into the scenario, that's a little too crazy,
Dan,
even for a jury.
Do you think the prosecutors are overreaching by going for first degree?
Look, I think the prosecutors are overreaching by going for the death penalty here. This is not a death... Nancy, maybe the death penalty is funny to you, but it's not funny to me.
She took pictures of his dead body in the shower.
Yeah, the death penalty is serious business, Nancy. It's not something to laugh
in the shower.
Okay? And look, there's no question that it's a legal matter.
If you can name one case you've ever saw the death penalty on, tell me.
There's no question that as a legal matter, they can pursue the death penalty. They have a theory here, which is not out of bounds about why the death penalty applies. But in my view, the death penalty ought to be saved for the worst of the worst. This is a classic domestic violence case. She ought to be charged with murder. She is charged with murder. She ought not be charged with the death penalty.
Because that was her boyfriend, that makes it less valuable. She stabbed him 27 times, and she took pictures of him dead, naked, in the shower. She took her own crime scene photos, for Pete's sake. There's blood all the way down the stairwell with her palm prints in it. Which is why she's charged
with murder.
This is a classic death penalty case.
Obviously,
and when you said I was laughing at the DP, I was laughing at what you said.
Yeah. Hold on, I just want to very quickly, does she take the stand or not, Dan Abrams?
I think if she's going to seriously argue self-defense, she has to take the stand, but I can't see how she does. So, but I think if they're serious about a self-defense claim, she's going to have to take the stand.
We'll have you both back on this. Nancy covers this.